You are going to get information that they want you to know. And it's not always going to be what you want to hear. People have come to me and said, well, it's not what I wanted to hear. I'm like, well, too fucking bad, lady.
The Luminous Life podcast is a show all about beauty without the BS. We're beauty business OGs, and we know that the secret to looking good is feeling great. We'll question beauty standards and share the behind the scenes of running a beauty business that puts your beauty first. I predict that this episode is going to break the luminous internet because today with us is psychic medium Michelle Santana, the legendary Michelle Santana.
Oh, I'm humbled.
Michelle, tell us how long you've been doing this and how the heck did you come to it?
All right. So I have been out of the broom closet, I would say, for about 15 years since my mother passed away. Not to say that I got ostracized, but, people were undermining me and like, where are you going? Where are you coming with that? And when you
came out of the broom closet?
Right. And I've been doing it already for 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
I was going through so much, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, this is my thing. This is what I've been needing to do. My mother had been told all my life that you have one of 2 kids that can see dead people. And I'm a twin.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So, and I almost died at birth. I was 3 pounds and, and my grandmother came from Spain and she was only here with us for about 8 months and she was very tight with me. For some reason, she just connected with me. And my mother said she never wanted to leave my side. And my grandmother they're saying that she had mental illness, but she would channel and she would be in trance for like a day or two at a clip. And I think she probably was a trance medium.
Sure.
Okay. And so that's just do trance. It's just very different from the kind of mediumship that I do. Mm-hmm. You really need someone to kind of pull you out of that because you just kind of get into that zone. And if someone's not there to pull you out, you can stay in that for a while.
Sure.
So
you came out of the broom closet 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of pushback?
From everybody.
From everybody.
Yeah. So I decided that I was going to be just do me. Mm-hmm. And even my kid would be like, oh, mom's doing her hoo-ha stuff, Mm-hmm. They now, it's different now. They're adults. And it's now they realize, oh my God, mom just kind of really went, forward and do. But I had a lot of pushback from friends and family and, I said, this is my path. This is my journey. Like, I'm not going to live in that space of what people think about me. I'm just going to do what I need to do because I know that I can help people.
So you embraced it.
Absolutely. And I've known this all my life. Mm-hmm. And I've just tried to live a very normal cookie cutter, went to college, I got married, I had kids, like everything, and it just, not to say that I wasn't happy. It's just like there was something missing.
Sure.
And I had an uncle, it was probably when I was about 27, 28 years old, and he got hit by a car. Mm-hmm. And he lived in Florida, and my mother just flew down there. And that night, I dreamt with him. Mm-hmm. And he came in, and it felt like a lucid dream, which is very different from a regular dream. Mm-hmm. Lucid dream, you feel like you're dreaming, but you kind of feel like you're awake at the same time.
Okay.
And he sat at my bed, and my grandmother was behind him, this one that passed. And he said, I want to stay here. It's beautiful. I want to stay with my mommy. Oh, and he looked like he was in his 20s. And at that point, when he was killed, he was 76.
Wow.
Right? So I said, okay. And then he showed me the wall and he unplugged like an outlet, right? He went to the outlet and he did this. Mm-hmm. And then he said, lay down, lay down, lay down. So I was like, I was married. My ex-husband's a physician. Mm-hmm. So he was doing his residency and he wasn't home. I was home with my 9-month-old daughter. Mm-hmm. So he said, lay down, lay down. And he put his hands over me. And I swear to God, I sound crazy saying this, but he elevated me off the bed.
Wow.
And after that, it was just something was just turned on for me. And I was like, oh my God, I needed that. So the next day I called my mother in Miami and I said, listen, I dreamt with, Uncle, Kiki, and he wants to stay. I said, he wants you to unplug the machine.
Wow.
And so they were like, okay, we have to wait like another 12 hours because it's been 48 hours or something like that. They had to wait, but no brain activity. And I'm like, just do it. Just do it. It's easy for me to say, right?
Right. And your mom trusted you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
She
That's
said,
incredible.
Yeah, because I was very detailed with the dream even, you know, and my grandmother looked exactly the way that I remembered her. When she passed away, she was living in the building that we still own. I was in one apartment with my siblings sleeping, and she was in another apartment. And I just sat up in bed, and I saw in front of me exactly what was going on. And the next day, I asked my mother, what happened to grandma? Because I said, you were there, you know, my aunt was there, my sister was there, my uncles were, there was like a group of people, and she kept doing this in the bed. And she said, your grandmother died last night. So, and I was I want to say three and a half, something like that.
Wow.
When that happened. And so she was like, and so all my life she'd been bringing me to like psychics and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, clear her. Like she's, I don't want her. And they would constantly say, she's going to do this one day, whether you like it or not, you know? And my mother, listen, very Catholic and, you know, prayed a lot and stuff like that. I still pray. I pray. People don't think I don't pray the rosary. I pray the rosary.
I'm really glad you brought that up because there are so many people that see it as an either or. They say you either believe in God or you believe in psychics. You either are religious or you believe in mediums. Can you speak to that?
So, you know, religion is very structured, right? It's you go by books that have been written and what you've learned, you know, what you've been told. With spirituality, you know, and the way that even I work, it's very different than another medium, the way that they work. It's like, you know, if you're doing, I don't know, if you're a cosmetologist, you're doing makeup. One person's going to do makeup a certain way, another person's going to do it another way. It's just very different. I feel like I believe in a higher power. Whether you want to call that higher power God, I think we're all connected to that higher power. You know, I am God too. Sure. You know, but I respect, and I always, and I pray, and I'm thinking, thank you, spirit guides, thank you, my ancestors, thank you, God, first and foremost, for allowing me to be this person in this world that can be, I don't want to call myself a leader. I just feel like I just open up that, like, it's okay to open up that door to spirituality, because, you know, death is universal. We're going to lose people. We're not going to avoid it. It's like we're born and we die, and we're not going to avoid death or losing someone that we love.
That's right.
Why not? You know, I always feel mediumship is, for me, it's when you if not everybody's a fit, right, for me, but when you find the right person that's a fit for you, it heals something in your soul when you connect with a loved one. It heals something in your heart. When you connect to make, and does it feel better to know that, like, okay, they validate certain things, like things that you may be doing, things that, how they passed away, what they did for a living, you know. It's not always easy. I mean, listen, I read for, you know, I get ugly things. You know, and I see ugly things, but connecting it back with God, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I feel so fulfilled in it that I can't even wrap my head around doing anything other than that.
So I think this brings up the point of why I asked if you could come on here and talk with us, because I have always been a person that I really enjoy and respect mediumship, psychics, some people call themselves spiritualists, I guess, whatever, energy
facilitators, you know.
Right. But there has always been a difference between what I would say people who consider themselves more of an entertainer versus somebody who's kind of checking is this responsible to share? Is this blessed by the higher power to share? Like almost like a checks and balances, right? Because sometimes you can't share everything, I guess, that you get.
I will say, this is why I only do individual sessions.
Okay.
I won't do shared sessions. Like, people will ask me all the time, so, we lost the same I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that, because if you're running around on your husband and you're sitting with, you know, I don't need somebody, I don't sugarcoat. I tell people that all the time. I will not sugarcoat what I say, and what comes out of my mouth is what spirit wants me to say. I don't need someone else going, girl, you didn't say that to me. You didn't tell me that. You didn't feel me. You know what I mean? It's none of anybody's business, which is why I only do that one-on-one.
Oh, that's so interesting.
But I have to tell you, sometimes someone's not meant to know if someone's going to die. And then sometimes they're really pushing it and they're telling me, like, no, you got 6 months, or this person's got 4 months, they've got cancer, whatever it may be. Like, spend time with them because this is what you got.
Right.
And that's the gift, right? The gift is knowing, okay, even if I'm wrong, I'm really there. One thing I have to tell you, I don't know what it is, but timing is something that I think they work really well with me. So like, you can say, I need timing, and I'm like, whatever. And I'm like, based on what I'm receiving, this is what they're giving me.
I mean, Michelle, I called Marcella today because today was my last day emptying my mom's house. We're selling my mom's house. And I said to her, I can't friggin' believe this. I talked to Michelle in January, and Michelle said to me, you're moving a lot this year. It looks like you're moving homes. It looks like you're moving your business. And I said, no, I don't think so. And you said, no, you're moving. You're moving. And I was like, no, I don't think so.
Who's your mom?
It wasn't just we renovated this store. We moved out of here, back into here. My mom into my house, my mom out of my house, and my mom's house. I was like, but sometimes you don't realize it until 10 months later. Well, oh yeah, Michelle told me this.
I've had people tell me, like, there's no way. There's like that you're wrong. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm not here to defend what it is that I do. This is what I do. If you're open and you are receptive to my giving you information, wonderful, great. But don't come at me and say you're wrong or whatever, this or that. I'm like, it's okay. That's okay. You can feel that way. I don't have a problem with you feel.
Right.
But then they've called me like a year and a half later or two. It's one of those things where, like, I don't remember what I told you.
Right.
My husband was trying to talk to me today after it was done, and he's like, you're not listening. And I'm like, bro, I just spent 6 hours like back to back reading. I'm like, I need to ground myself.
Sure.
So I have to eat something. I don't eat when I work. So I just will drink like I don't even drink coffee in the morning, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll drink something that's got a little bit of like a caffeine in it, but it's more like a cold drink. But I'll drink tea. I won't drink. I work better on an empty stomach.
So interesting.
So
right?
when I've eaten something and then I try to it's like I feel like I'm drudging along. So spiritually, I work better that way. So I don't eat in the mornings. I just won't. I mean, unless I'm starving, but no.
Right.
For the most part, I won't. But you are going to get information that they want you to know, and it's not always going to be what you want to hear. People have come to me and said, "Well, it's not what I wanted to hear." I'm like, well, too fucking bad, lady. Or whatever. I'm
just doing my job.
Yeah. Right. I said, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. It's not that's not how I work. Again, there's ethics involved. There's, I work for spirit. I don't work for you. Even though you're paying me to read for you, I work for spirit, for your guides. I work for your ancestors. I work for whoever wants to channel through me to give you information. And so I'm not gonna, I've seen things where I've like, oh my God, how am I gonna go around this to give this, because this person's gonna get how am I gonna tell her husband's checked out? But I gotta tell her husband's checked out, right? Something like that, just as an example.
Yeah,
right. But they need to know.
Right.
I can't, it's just that whole, I'm a really bad liar. I can't do it.
How did you get your education? How did you get your training in ethics? And
I think it's just part of who you are.
Okay.
I think it's something that's innate in you. I have worked and studied with other psychic mediums and people that want to get into this line of work. And I'm always pushing people. I'm like, listen, if you feel like you're drawn to this, do it. Go. There's enough work for everybody to go around. I used to, when I first started years and years ago, sitting in circle, and there was a woman that I trained under, and I will not mention names, but I would always get the vibe that she'd be like, "Why are you telling people that they could do this?" Like,
oh
wow, what?
Yeah,
that's yuck.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, because sometimes you just know, right?
Totally.
That it's that light in a person, and I always say, when I'm doing a reading, you're coming to me, you've got issues, or you're grieving, or whatever, right? Because grief is, my goodness, there's 40 to 45 types of grief, right?
Wow.
I always want you to leave the session feeling better, despite whatever ugly is going on in your life. You know, that's just my ultimate goal. And then there are people, again, and that's where the ethics come in. I think when that are very, and I'm very blunt, I'm very open, I'm very blunt, but there's a way to say things, right? Where you're making them feel like, okay, even though this is bad news, it's not, I can handle it. I can, how do you navigate through this now and like do better? Don't let this define you, grow from it. Kind of thing.
And like you said, there's a psychic medium for everyone, right? You might not be everybody's cup of tea. But...
And not everybody's my cup of tea. If I notice that there's someone that's very shut down or closed off and I really didn't feel like, I won't let them rebook because they're wasting money. I don't do it for money. My incentive is not money.
Right.
My incentive is to help you grow, is to help you evolve. It's for you to find that inner light that you have and show the world like, this is my magic.
So now that you have been doing it for 15 years and now that you're showing the world, right? I assume everybody knows you what you do.
Right.
Is everybody expecting you to read them all the time?
I can't, I can't read for myself.
Okay.
I get nothing. Like,
That's so
it's
interesting.
like if I've known the person too long or I know like what's going on in their life and stuff like that, right? It's not, I'm like, it's not, I don't know. I just don't, and I don't feel like I'd rather not know you. I'd rather not know anything about you because that's when things are coming in like really, really fresh.
Right.
And then sometimes even with someone that you know, like you have to say something that maybe they don't want to hear. And, it's just.
And you have to say it.
Right. It's a conflict of interest, you know? Like I always say, I would never shit where I ate. Where did I meet my husband? He came to see me.
No way.
As a client.
No way. That's
13 years ago.
That's so good. Tell us.
Right? And he had made an appointment, canceled it, made another appointment, I think, or missed it. I think the first one he missed it. Made another appointment, he had to cancel it. And then the third time, he was like 25 minutes late. And I'm on time. I would have to be in an accident or something. I am never late for anything. A Cuban here saying that I'm never late for anything.
Wow.
Never. Okay.
You're the only one.
Oh, yes, I think so.
I'm a Latina. I am late for everything.
I think so. So he came in and I was like, this freaking guy's late, whatever. And I saw him coming in and I just went like,
right away.
Oh my God. Like there was just this connection.
Wow.
And he's my type, and he sat down, I did a reading for him. And then we just, I used to wear, when I did a reading, I used to wear a handkerchief for protection for my head. I don't do it anymore, but I used to wear a handkerchief. And he goes, when you pulled off that handkerchief and I saw your hair, I was like, holy moly. And that was it. We sat there for maybe like another hour, an hour and a half talking. And then the next week he called me and he said, you want to have a cup of coffee? And I said, let's go to dinner. Wow. And that was it.
That's
He's wonderful.
Great story.
He is such I want, his name is Javi. I want a Javi for everybody. That man is, oh my God.
And he fully accepted,
everything.
This is what you do.
Everything. Because I've had people or men in my life that said, I wouldn't be able to be with you because of what you do. Or they're like, oh, this is really intriguing. Can we go out on a date? And I'm going like, oh, fuck yourself. Like, I don't want to do, you know what I mean? No.
I'm not going to read you over dinner.
Right. That's just not. Like, if I go to lunch with you or you, like, I want to have lunch.
Right.
Like, I don't mind talking about this, but like, I want to have lunch.
Yeah.
I don't want to be probed or like, why are you with me? Why do you want to be with me? You know? And
I guess that would have to make you more protective about friendships and everything in general.
Yeah, I've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But I think it's part of the evolvement, right? I think it's part of you're growing into who you're supposed to grow into. And then there's a need to, I always say that when you have gone and done your shadow work, right? Which is no one wants to do shadow work. Oh.
I don't want to do it, Michelle.
I know.
I know I have to.
And we're in Scorpio season now. So we gotta But you know what? You will attract, when you're on that frequency, you will attract that same frequency.
The shadow?
when you do your shadow work and you get done with that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you got to do the junk. You got to do the junk. It's it's trauma.
Okay.
Listen, we all got trauma.
Yeah.
I wasn't raised perfect. My parents weren't perfect. They
Right.
didn't mean to fuck me up, but
Right.
they did.
Right.
So, it just happens,
Right.
you know? And we acknowledge it. We move forward. I wasn't a perfect mother either. I try my best, but I'm not,
It sounds like it's like a very taxing job. Like it's like physically, mentally, emotionally.
all of it.
How do you take care of yourself? You have this incredible husband, right? Who I'm sure is very supportive.
Yeah.
But like, what are the ways that you replenish yourself with all of this?
I don't. I'm actually really bad at it. I don't. It's like the shoemakers, that don't, they're the last ones to fix the kids' shoes, That's me.
Yeah.
And so I try so spirit will slow me down, whether it's like no one's booked an appointment and it's like an empty day and I'm like, okay,
That's your sign.
that's my sign that I got to slow the fuck down, and do something for myself. I like alone time. I'm not a person, even though people think, oh my God, you're a Sag, you're like out there. And I am very, like I said, I'm animated, whatever. I really like to be alone. I like my alone time. And that's where I replenish myself.
I feel you, Sag sister.
I don't like to exercise.
I feel
used
you,
to.
Sag sister.
I hate it.
But I like to dance, like in my kitchen by myself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Music's my thing.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
I'm really not. I don't like to cook, but sometimes I get this inspiration, and like I'll make like 3 meals in one day.
Yep.
So it's just. But could I tell you that I should be taking better care of myself? I don't.
Yeah.
I
get that.
My routine too, I will put on my face in the morning, and sometimes if I get it like at night, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna do my face, I'm gonna put a mask on, I sleep with a mask or whatever. But it's not every day.
Yeah.
Because I'm so exhausted at the end of the day, I just wanna conk out.
Speaking of beauty, what do you think is beautiful in a woman? What do you think is beautiful in yourself?
I feel like every person I think has an inner light. And sometimes it's blemished, and I can see it when it's blemished in a person.
Wow.
I can see it when someone's I hate fake people. I can't stand a lot of people will cover up with their clothes and their makeup and their hair and the Botox fillers and the lip fillers. And I'm like, no, I just can't. Or all the vacations that they go on and
right.
all of Facebook's fake.
People hide in a lot of
different ways.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's I don't have to you don't have to be my best friend, but I can see if you're I guess a genuinely an authentic good person, and a lot of people say, well, you're a hypocrite. I don't like you or whatever. Cause they just don't, for whatever reason, this is what happens. Sometimes a person has light that'll bother people that have a lower frequency. And then if someone has a lower frequency, that gives you the ick. So you have to you have to use discernment, you have to use discernment when you're around people, and who you want to associate yourself with, I think is super important.
No, I agree.
I'm not healing anybody. This is coming from God, from a higher source.
Right. Is this why you can work remotely?
Yes.
Because readings with you are on Zoom.
Yes.
But you're still getting the messages regardless of being in the same room with somebody.
Doesn't matter. I can sit here and I can bring all my stuff and I can start reading, and it works the same way as if I was reading for you before, in front of the Zoom. Okay. And I've had clients say, well, I'm sorry, I just can't do that because it doesn't work that way. I'm like, I said, do you do what I do? And they're like, no, I don't do what you do. This is impossible for you to be able to do this. I'm like, well, you don't do what I do. So I think if that's the way you feel, then I don't want to read for you.
Right.
At that point, you just shit the bed. I'm like, I'm not sleeping there. I'm not going there. No, I'm not doing it, So
what do you think the biggest misconception is? And what do you wish people knew about your work and maybe even your point of view in your work?
I think, this was all she could talk to dead people. This is the work of the devil. And, a lot of people they're scared of what they don't understand. Mm-hmm. And I think that, I think we're coming to a point in our world where we're evolving, as a species. spiritually. And you're either going to evolve or you're not going to evolve. You're either going to stay on the third dimension or you're going to be up on the fourth, right? Or into the fifth that's where I channel from. And again, someone that is so against understanding and trying to learn about this and accepting it is never going to get it. And I don't try anymore. But someone who's willing to say, oh my God, this is what happened to me. You know, I read for a lot of younger women that I love that because, you know, I feel like I'm connecting with my divine, like feminine when I'm doing that, working with women, because a lot of girls don't have like motherly figures that can guide them. And I just had a girl the other day that said to me, you've been reading for me for 15 years and I can't tell you, her mother's on her way out. She's I can't tell you how many times you've made me feel safe as a mother. Like I felt like you were like my mom in like that half hour or that hour. And I'm like, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
Right? This is what it's about. It's not about anything other than, it's not about me getting that feeling of like, oh, you know, because I'm very humble. You know, my husband will say to some, you don't know who my wife is? Like people that moved in next door. I'm like, shut up. You know, like, why do you have to, like, he's like, but I'm proud of who you are. I'm like, I get that, babe. But like, I'm very like, and so people will say, like you asked me before, like, you know, promoting or whatever. I don't promote myself. I don't know how to begin doing that.
But I bet if I walked in the street right now and yelled, Michelle Santana's here, people would come out. Well, because people, you know, a lot of people.
Yeah.
People recommend you nonstop.
Yeah. Oh, I've had girls that have read for, and it's funny. It's happened a couple of times. Like I could tell you, it's probably happened more than 5 times, where they're like, you know, I was at a party the other day and I was having this argument. We were talking about psychics and mediums, whatever. And you're like, oh, you have the best girl. And they don't. I have the best girl. No, you don't have the best girl. I have the best girl. And they ended up, they were talking about me. It ended up being me. She pulled out, I pulled out your card and she's like, oh my God, that's my psychic. And I'm like, oh my God, that humbles me. That humbles me.
Yeah.
You know, that humbles me. I'm thinking, oh my God, because my husband will always say, I was like, can you imagine the table conversations people have at dinner about you? And I'm like, nah, people are not talking about. I'm like, that's who I am.
No, they are.
You know, I'm not, but again, it's very hard work. I think I'll probably do it forever until I reach, you know, I mean, it's not like one of these things that I feel like if I wanted to like retire, I could, but like, why would I?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm in a space now where I'm evolving and I feel like a lot of like teaching, I want to get into like I need to like, let me hold your hand and like, it's okay. Like I always tell people, take the path of least resistance, you know? When you take a path of resistance, like, shit's just gonna get fucked up for you. It just is what it is, you know? You
mentioned it and you said it very casually, and they're terms that I'm familiar with, but I want you to dig into it a little bit. Before, when we were talking to me and Marcella, you were saying, she's the virgin, I'm the maiden, you're the crone. Can you break those down? Because intergenerational themes are really important to us here in terms of like intergenerational friendships, what life looks like when you're, you know, moving out of your reproductive years and into your wise years.
Yeah. So, you know, as a virgin, right? I'm not saying you are, but you know, as a virgin, you know, you're we could be very naive. You know, we make decisions that sometimes that we later, I've made them where I've regretted decisions and, you know, and then, you know, I have my own 2 daughters. I have a 27-year-old and I have a 31-year-old. And, you know, I sometimes see that they're making errors or, you know, mistakes, and I try to bite my tongue, and like I go back, like I see you and I'll go back and say, God, I was there once. I was there once, you know. Like I wish that if I knew the knowledge that I had back when I was 27, oh my God, or like younger, and so you know, then you come into the maiden where you become a mother, and then you have to be careful. Like, okay, I'm not mothering my husband, right? Like, because a lot of men, I'm sorry, no, you know,
Jordan's okay. Yeah. He's good like that.
You know, there's a lot of man children out there.
Yeah.
You know, and that ultimately stems from trauma and childhood or whatever. And it's like we as women are taught socially that we have to like, you know, become like their mothers and their wives and their mothers of their kids and, you know, their whore, you know, for lack of a better term, you know, and it's like, well, what about us? And then now in this stage where I'm at now, like I said before, like I was very in my maiden stage. Like when you're young, you don't think about like crow's feet. You don't think about getting fat. You don't think about any of those things. Then you become a mother and you're like, ooh, but then you lose it, right?
Right.
Like I used to be a size 0. Like in my late 30s, early 40s, I was a size 0. I was tiny. Now that I'm in menopause, which blows, like I've gained 30 pounds. Like I'm like, how on earth am I a size 8? Oh my God, no. I have back fat. What? Like, you know, I have a grandma bod and I'm a grandmother, right? I'm like, no. And my husband's, would you stop it? You don't look like a I'm like, no, but I see my body changing and I'm not doing anything about it because I don't give a shit.
Right.
I don't care.
Because you're in your crone era.
Exactly. And so now it's like, as the wise crone, if I will only give advice if I'm asked. I won't be like, you know,
This is the thing.
Yes.
This is the thing. Yeah. This is the thing that I talk about with Marcella all the time. When I was coming up in the especially in the beauty world in salons, I was a 25-year-old and I would observe all these women, all these ages, and I would have all these conversations with women. And then there were the wise ones who would listen to me and they'd say,
They just sit there.
Yeah,
right?
they weren't suggesting, they weren't advising. I was like, why won't they tell me? And it wasn't like they were withholding.
Right.
They were just like witnessing, like, I've been a done bitch too.
Right. I've been there. I've been like, I watch my daughters. I've been there, you know, whether they're going through stuff, you know, whether they're going through boyfriend stuff or whether they're going through mom stuff. I have a daughter who's a mother and she mothers really well. And, you know, I'm like, oh my God, when I was a mother, I needed my mother so much. And now she's in Arizona and I'm like, I can only go visit like once every 2 or 3 months, you know? And I'm like, but it's like, it's so fluid for her. Right. And I'm like, they're different. Like my kids are like different than me. But I stand back and I'm thinking, no, that's how she parents, whether she messes her kids up or not.
That's that wisdom. Where I'm nagging and I can't shut the fuck up at my daughter.
Well, terrible. And I can tell you, my kids can probably tell you the same. My kids, my children will say like, Mom, I don't want to hear it. Let me fuck up. Let me make the mistake. And I'm like, you got to hold on to that. I don't want them to, right? Because we know, sometimes you can see a person for who they are and then they're with your child and you're like, oh, hell no, buddy. Like, I don't like this person for you. And there's just something about it, right? Or you look at, like, I have my one daughter who's married and I'm thinking her husband's amazing. And he helps her with the kids and like, you know, and listen, I'm sure behind closed doors,
everybody has their things.
Right. But I just feel like they're perfect together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I try really hard to say, if I'm overstepping boundaries, please tell me. Please tell me because I don't want to do that. That's where I'm at now in my, you know, and now, you know, I have an elderly father who's going to be 99 in December.
Wow. Oh my goodness. God bless him.
Yeah, he's supposed to come live with me, which is, you know, I want him to, been wanting him to, you know, and it's like, I'm caring for him. And it's like, that's my mom died very suddenly. So I didn't really get to care really for her. And now I get to do that with him. And it's like, it's beautiful, but it's sad at the same time. Because I know the inevitable is coming, you know, but
also considering from what you said before, there's more wisdom, more power, and probably more connection to the divine after he passes, right?
100% because they do become answers. I tell people all the time, I said, I have an altar. You should have an altar too. Not saying I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I never do that.
But make an altar.
Make it, because you know what? Because whether you realize it or not, your ancestors work with you, whether you hated them, whether you love them. Souls grow and they evolve when they cross over. They will come through like because people get caught up even with the whole suicide thing, right? Like people die by suicide. It's just another way of dying. I know it sounds really harsh to say that, but it's like people will die of cancer, people will die of a heart attack. People will die of suicide. It's just another way of dying. What are we all looking for at the end of the day? Peace. Yeah. You know, and so sometimes the soul has reached its contract on earth. And we have to be okay with that and let that go and say, this is their choice. This is what they decided, whatever. Or when they're sick and they die and like, okay, you like my father, 99. He's not done with his soul contract yet.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to like, I'm looking. I'm like, what is he trying? What's going on there that he's got to still do to have that finished out? That I want him dying. But, you know, with my mom, I knew it. Like I knew there was something there that like she was just done. She was so tired and she was sick. And I'm like, and I felt her when she died, I felt her go.
Wow.
You know, and it's interesting because the number here is 11. And she died at 11/11.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Talk about
and
an
I
angel,
looked, I was, and then my mother-in-law died at 11/11 in the morning.
No way.
When she died, they didn't know each other, but like they died at the same time, just different. So the 11 for me is significant.
Sure.
You know, it's a master number, but it's significant. But
I can't get over how you've really like come here and spoken so transparently about your journey and about what it's like to be a psychic medium. And I think really lifted the veil off of something that can have such a stigma, right?
I mean, it still has a stigma, even though we're in a better place now after, you know, we're in the years that we're in. Like, it's like when someone comes out and they're gay, right?
Right.
You know, back in the day, it was like, oh, you don't do that.
Right.
Right. Now it's like, all right.
Okay. And
love is love. It doesn't really matter. Right. So it's the same now. I think people are becoming more like, for me, I'll be honest with you, because I knew where my mother was in her journey spiritually and where she was divinely, that helped me to, even though I had it was rough for five or 6 years, it got me through, and work got me through. Work got me through. It was, you know, but the need to know, honestly, that we don't just die and go into the oblivion. You know, and people say, well, how do you know that? I just do. It's for me, right. Like people say, how do you know that? How do you know that that's like what you need to be telling me? How do I know? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, the internet exists, but you can't see it.
Right.
I don't know how I connect. I just do. And this is the information they're giving me. How do I feel it? I see it in snapshots. I smell it. I hear it. Like, and this is why it's overwhelming and it's taxing, right? And why I get like, my husband's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I've had a 9-hour day and I'm exhausted, you know?
Right.
But I've slowed down. As the crone, I've slowed down and I don't work. I work long days on Thursdays and Mondays, right?
Okay.
And then Wednesdays and Saturdays are my short days.
Nice.
You know?
Michelle, how can people find you? How can people book an appointment with you?
I have a scheduling link. You know, I have a Facebook page. You know, my business name is called Some Things Sacred.
Yes.
That's how
there's 2 S's in there.
Yes. Yeah. Some things. Because there are so many things that are sacred. And I just feel like, you know, we got to get that out there.
Yeah.
You know, like life is sacred. Like this is sacred.
It's somethingssacred.com.
How you make someone right. .com, and then my phone number, you know, an email address. Very simple. I'm very old school, so I'm not that person that, you know, again, is like, oh, this is how you can find me.
No, right.
It's just
we'll put it in the show notes.
Right.
Sure.
People will find you.
Most people find me by word of mouth, which is that's the way I like it, and I have no problem being promoted. But that's just the way it's always worked for me.
Well, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being
Thank you
here
for
and letting
having
us
me.
pick your brain.
Oh my goodness.
And giving us some insight and sharing.
Well, thank you for
your sacred gifts.
Just even getting that knowledge out is so super important. You know,
it's our pleasure.
So
thanks again, Michelle.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Luminous Life podcast. If you're in North Jersey and looking for beauty that feels like therapy, come visit us at the store. You can always follow us on your favorite podcast app or check us out on YouTube.